Oh, there it is. Papa Top again. Welcome back. This is Uncanceled Culture. My name is Porky.
I'm the Louie.
Crank. We need to make a shirt.
Yes.
We gotta put a shirt.
We are going to put a shirt.
That's going to be the most popular shirt.
Yeah.
Crank.
And it's got to have the well, we can't use the Wilson. The Wilson fence line.
We can figure it out.
Hey, you put a hat on.
We'll figure
I
it
think if you
out.
put a hat on, I think we can use it.
Or use the COVID mask.
There you go.
Your favorite.
Yes. Loved it the whole time I was on.
Oh, man. So how y'all been, dude? How was your week? Louie?
It was a week. It was a week.
Yeah.
It was a week.
Just a week?
Yeah. It was rough.
You're not getting as boring as me, are you?
No, it was a rough week, man. Kind of self-inflicted stuff, you know.
Are we sharing or we're
At
not
home.
sharing? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
doghouse stuff?
You know, I was for a couple days, but
Well, you don't have to share, I guess. You know, people don't need to know
no,
about
you know,
that.
I think it goes back to what we talked about, you know, on one of the last episodes where we were saying the whole communication or lack of, you know, stuff like that. You know, one night I stayed out a little later than I needed to.
Isn't that
Than I should have.
every week?
Well,
is it the same story
but so here's the thing. There's certain days where she kind of expects it, right?
Yeah.
And then there's other days where it's like, oh, okay, wait, no, you know, you'll be done early, you'll be here, and then, you know, midnight comes around, and, you know, yeah, so
then
it was one of
Where's
those, man.
Louie? They're
Yeah.
playing, Where's Louie at?
Yeah. So it was one of those, man, but,
Interesting.
and then, you know, it just snowballs from there, so, but, especially because I don't, you know, whenever you do something wrong, it's like, well, it wasn't that bad.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
you do
and
everything
then you
to
kind of
not
defend yourself, and then you kind of stand your ground, and then you realize that you're making things worse,
Yeah.
and then it's like, never
So
mind.
who was it? Who was it that was mad at you?
But I just don't understand how it gets worse. I don't understand how it gets worse, man.
What? Just because?
No, Louie.
Well, I think it's
who's
when
mad
I stand my ground, but
Louie, who
but
was-
That's what I'm
I-
saying.
I
It gets
know-
worse. You want to defend yourself, but you can't because you make it worse.
Well, the thing
You
is,
know,
okay,
that's like-
but here's the only reason
I
that
st-
I
I
kind of
st-
agree with it.
I still want to know who's mad at him.
Sabrina was mad at me.
Oh,
Sabrina was mad at me. That's why. That was on purpose.
Okay, my bad.
So
my bad.
I get it, and I can see it after the fact. You know, in the moment, I'm like, no,
Yeah.
like,
No.
hold on. You know,
Was it okay? So because you've been drinking, was it that same night?
well,
Or
that
you
one
waited?
and another night I was drinking too.
No,
and
but
then-
I'm saying because that night, I'm sure
yeah.
that you were like,
Yeah.
well,
yeah,
you know, because
and then,
when
and
you're
then
drinking,
another night when we're still kind of in the middle of it,
Yeah.
I was drinking that night too. So it just, you know, it just keeps going, and then it was like whatever. But the thing is, the only reason I see where it gets worse is because when you're wrong, and you kind of know you're wrong,
of course, you know you're wrong.
but you don't want to be wrong, so you're standing on, you know, you're
Yeah,
standing your ground,
You're
and
standing
it's like.
firm, standing firm.
It's like, yeah, it's pointless,
No.
right?
Yeah.
And so, kind of to eliminate the long days of hostility.
Did you apologize?
Yeah. Eventually, you know, we were able to smooth things out, man.
So
But
you had to.
yeah,
No, dude, because it's hard. We're guys, right? We're guys, and first thing we don't want to do is admit that we're wrong.
yeah.
That's how we are.
But
You
yet,
know, we
when
don't
you're
wanna
wrong
do
3
that.
days in 4.
See, that's a you problem. That's a you problem.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a you
That's what I'm
problem.
saying. I was like, man, maybe you need to, you know, slow down a little bit. And so, yeah.
But it's one of those. It's like one of those Chris Rock. What Chris Rock said back in one of his comments. I know you did it. Just admit it. I know you did it. Just admit it. When you keep on hearing that, you're like, well, okay, I did it. I didn't know until you told me. You know, shit.
You know,
And it keeps on and it keeps on.
I've
I've
been-
been. Damn, I guess I was wrong. You know, but you don't.
I've
In the
been-
back of your mind, you're not.
Now you think you're
I've
doing
been
the right
in that
thing.
situation too, where, but see, which again, is wrong because you're lying about it, right?
Yeah.
And then when it's like the pressure, fine, you're right. I knew it. It's like, oh, what do you mean? You already knew. I thought you knew
I
it.
didn't know until you told me.
I didn't know until you told me.
Oh my goodness. So yeah,
Louis got
it was a rough week, but
bad week. Bad couple of weeks for the
yeah, it has
Louis.
been a couple of bad weeks.
What about Kranky?
My week wasn't as bad. It's just someone's burned my hand off.
Well, the weekend started off good, though,
looking like
right?
Jason Pierre-Paul over here.
Oh man,
I'm afraid of celebrating New Year's now, man. Jeez.
just stay away from the fireworks.
Yeah, that was an eye opener.
You might not have a hand come New Year's 2024.
Say we're not gonna call him Niner. We're gonna call him
Stumpy. Stumpy.
High 10. Oh, never mind.
Oh, it's not the 10 Commandments anymore. Oh, dude. Yeah. So, would you like to share? You don't want to share.
Like what led up to
Yeah,
it?
it's just you have a good time with the family, and when you sit next to a bonfire, you just try to go around it.
Don't stand up.
Don't stand up. Don't drink around it. If you gotta pee, just might as well just pee your pants. The fire's gonna dry it off anyways.
You're around family. I mean,
But you think that somebody's gonna jump up to save you? Right?
Yeah,
Everybody was just kind of looking at him like, "What is he doing?"
Yeah, like, is he burning a hot dog or something? No, I'm burning my hands.
why are there sparks playing? Lee.
Oh man. Well, Jesus, it seems like you guys had pretty bad.
So it's not don't drink and drive. It's don't drink and fire. I don't know.
Oh my God. Well, let me see. Let me go back. Nah, I got nothing.
Yeah, your week was
No, man. I try and the boy. I'm for whatever reason the little boy Boston is obsessed with Peso Pluma. And I have no idea why.
God. With who?
Peso Pluma, and I know a lot of people don't like him.
If you were to hear a song, you'd recognize it because it's one of the most annoying dance songs.
Is it a Tejano song?
Yeah,
No,
it's
not even
not
Tejano.
even Tejano. It's
They call it a corrido. They call it like a corrido,
Like a
but
joke.
No.
No.
Like just think like old time Mexican song.
Yeah.
With like ding 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 ding
Yeah.
ding ding
Yeah.
ding ding. So every time I get in the car, first thing
Can we put that
Can
on?
you put Peso Pluma? I'm like, oh, dude, and it's been probably like that for about 3 weeks now.
So would you rather
longer? Actually,
would you rather have that playing or Baby Shark?
oh, he's 7, man. He's already past that.
Yeah, but still.
I think I'd rather have Baby Shark.
yeah. He sold this place out, didn't he? When he came over here, didn't he come over here and he sold the whole thing?
he's
He sold
popular.
out, man.
Like
I've-
AT&T?
Yeah, and apparently he lived here
Yeah.
for a little while. He was born
I think
in.
he has a Marble cut haircut, don't he?
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. But they all do.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
But nah, man. What's weird is like earlier in the year he was Elvis obsessed, which is weird. He was
Wow.
Elvis, like Elvis. Well, my dad was still alive, and for whatever reason, he was they'd be listening to Elvis songs, and dude, for like 3 months, 4 months straight, that's all I had. That's all I heard on my Spotify. And I go to my Spotify, and they'd be like, "Your number one track is like."
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
But no, he knows more Spanish than me because he sings the songs.
Yeah.
And obviously they're in Spanish, so I'm like, dude.
And they're annoying.
Yeah, and I know, and a lot of people don't like him. I mean, if you had heard it, if Kranky heard it, he'd probably be like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah. You'd right because I'm sure that they've played it at different places, and you hear it, and it's like,
Yeah,
I don't hear that crap.
Yeah, but no, I mean it's all right. He's a good kid. He's doesn't get in trouble. He's a good kid. Well, he doesn't get in trouble at school.
Well.
When he's home, he fucking gets in. But no, he's all right. I just got to get over the Peso Pluma thing and taking over my Spotify. But anyway, so let's get started here with quick shots. Oh, shit.
Well, wait, we'll get to that later.
No, we'll tell you what, because I started last week, so we'll let Louie start this week with his quick shot.
Okay, so mine is it's more of a things that make you go, right? You send elementary kids home with a paper that says they have to do a science project. And then they tell you, it's highly encouraged that you help them, but don't do it for them. When you're talking about 3rd and 4th graders, what science project are they going to do that you're not going to do for them? Right? And even when because they have to write a paper on it, they have to do a project board and, do everything on the board. I'm like, these kids still can't formulate a sentence. And they can, but then they can't express it and display it on a board.
They can't write bruh 57 times.
Sus,
right? No, and then and then you're telling them, hey, okay, let me write it out for you, and you write it in your own writing, and then you see the misspellings, and then again, this is the age that we live in, right? They'll put a letter, that's the wrong letter, they'll cross it out, and then they'll put another one. I'm like, you can't do that, right? I'm like, oh. So what would take you 20, 30 minutes is basically taking you 4 or 5 hours.
Right.
Because
you want to let them do it.
Yeah.
But
and it's things like, I mean, they had all these crazy ideas, and I'm like, well, first of all, I didn't even know about the project, and it's due like tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's one thing.
And of course, then they had the whole week of Thanksgiving off, and so and they weren't with us, so we couldn't have done it.
Oh, it was another no pants.
Yeah, it was a no pants Thanksgiving week. But they come back and it's like, okay, I want to do this and I want to do this and I want to do this, and I'm like, yeah, no, we don't have time for that, right? So what we're gonna do is density of certain things. So you're gonna mix oil and water and syrup and see which is heavier and all this stuff.
The density of your brain for having me do this a day before you turn it in.
Taking pictures of everything. Yeah. Having to go print them at Walgreens. And picking them up late at night so that way they can have them for the project the next day. The other one, I don't even remember what it was. I don't know. To me, they were just stupid, right? But I'm like, how are you going to give these kids these types of... Have them color something. Have them build something. Which leads us back to
our future.
Which leads us back to what we were talking about. You remember when we were growing up and Thanksgiving, we used to color a turkey.
No, it wasn't even a turkey.
Or we used to make one with our hand. No, they don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Dude, yeah.
They don't even know what a pilgrim is.
We used to make the hat with the feathers, the Indian thing that went around.
I don't know. I think it's just... I'm a little frustrated with the school education system right now.
Let me tell you, dude, because obviously I have someone that's in the school system right now, in school system, but in school, I just do it for him. But I have him help me. And people are going to hear this. They're going to say, well, why don't you let him do it? No, because it'll be like Louie. We'll be there for 6 hours, and I'm having like, no, son, no, don't do it. Try it this way. Move. Let me do it. Let me do it.
Yeah.
So it's like I'd much rather just do it and make it look semi ugly or semi like, oh yeah, a kid did it. Instead of like being there for 5 hours. I mean, come on, man. I mean, I ain't got that time. I ain't got that kind of time.
And these kids are so transparent, right? Where because they're innocent, right? Their minds, right? They're innocent. Right. They know that they're not supposed to. They know when lying is wrong, and they know right. So they know right from wrong. And you're doing something, and he's like, but don't say that I did it. And then they go, well, they were doing it. I just did this, and I'm like, oh, because they're so innocent, and it's like, dude, you're not gonna get a good grade because you didn't do the project. So, but whatever. That's my gripe.
Well, and just to go along with like that thing, how we used to draw the turkey with the hand, right? So they have this thing now where they hide the turkey. So they give them a picture, like a little. It looks like a color, like you can color it. And it's a turkey, so basically you have to design it, but you have to hide the turkey.
So you camouflage it.
Yeah, or hide it, or just make it not look like a turkey because they're trying to hide the turkey. It's a thing because they don't want to get caught and get eaten. Blah, blah, blah. So, of course, what do you think I had to make that turkey look like? Take a wild guess.
Pesa pluma.
Yeah. So I made the turkey.
Shut up, real.
Yeah,
Oh my
I made
goodness.
the turkey. It looked like Peso Pluma, dude. I had to go online. I had to Google it. I had to find it, and I'm like, this kid, the things that we do for our kids, man.
Yeah, we just did one. He had a gingerbread. One of the kids had a gingerbread that they had to color and made it look like Five Nights at Freddy. Yeah, the things that are out nowadays.
Yeah, oh God.
I need to Google that. How do you spell that, dude?
Peso Pluma.
Peso, Peso
And then Pluma.
Pluma. So it means lightweight or something like that in Spanish. Because the dude's he's as skinny as that stick right there.
Yeah.
He's real frail.
I thought Pluma was a pen.
Yeah.
No, look it up. Look it up, and the translation means like lightweight or something like that.
So you made a turkey look like this dude?
Yeah. I'll show you. I don't have the picture, but I might have the pictures. I'll show you after. But yeah, that's what I had to do. But I've done other projects for him because, and it's like, he did help me and this and that. But like when he turns it in, it's immaculate. Because I did it.
Featherweight.
Featherweight. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what Peso Pluma means.
Yeah.
Well, so anyway. So there you go. So Louie hates the school system.
Yeah. That's my gripe. That's my gripe today.
Does Kranky have one? No?
I don't have them. Not this time, man.
No gripes?
Nah. I mean, I have gripes all the time, but I mean, it's just
He's cranky.
It's the same thing all the time, I was just in line right now at the local HEB, and it was one of those. It's the line where you go and get all like you pay your bills and all that stuff, right? That line.
Yeah.
And you still got people that still don't know how to use that line. They're asking questions and they're taking longer than they should, and
then they bring out the checkbook.
They bring out the checkbook.
Shit.
They don't know their PIN number. There's one guy took out money just to give it back to them to buy a freaking money order, and they told him, you could have used your card, right? Oh, I didn't know that. Dude, old man, he didn't know that. God darn, man, what century do you live in still? Jeez, he took money out of his card just to give it back to the money back to the girl,
really,
to buy a freaking money order.
He was an old guy.
Yeah, he was an older guy. There's other guys there buying freaking numbers for the lotto. Like, dude, there's a gas station right there across the street.
Well, and that's HEB's fault, dude, because they have the machine right there.
Yeah.
They have them. I mean, obviously, you can't buy lotto.
That's
or
no,
can you? No, you can.
You can buy lotto.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, you can buy the actual pick number.
Yes.
The quick picks and shit like that.
Yes, exactly.
But they have the whole things at the registers now. That have like the lot, like here are the winning, like here's what you can win. Here's you know how you see the billboards.
Yeah.
They have those now at the registers, so you can buy them there now because I know that they already had a winner at the one on Teso and Culebra, and I think they had another one at another HEB where they won off the numbers. They won, they didn't get the whole 5 and the Powerball or 5 and the whatever number, but they got the 5, so they won $1 million. So yeah, man. I mean,
but that's HEB's fault. Man.
Yeah, it is. It is.
They have it in there, like.
But it's not just HEB. It's everywhere you go, man. It's just like people don't know how to just go in and get out.
Yeah.
Just go in and get out.
Like a quickie.
Yes. No, they want to get in there. They want to gripe. Well, I got coupons for that, but it was on sale over there in the aisle for this much, and you got a fucking line
with
the wrong price.
Yes.
That was me yesterday. Bought a whole bunch of stuff and I was like, hold on, I got coupons. I had coupons on the app and I had the yellow ones that you pull off, and I'm like, all right, use them all.
But if there's nobody in line behind you, okay, all right.
Well, but if you're in a regular line, okay. Today, going back to what we talked about, I think it was last week, I go to Walmart so I can go and just buy a gift card.
Yeah.
I had to go take a gift card to a client, so I'm like, I need to buy a gift card. I go grab the gift card. I go stand in the self-checkout line, and there's a guy with a basket with about 50 items scanning each one, and I'm like, and I can see the lady that's running the area, and she's just staring at him and kind of looking at everybody, and I'm like, you're not gonna tell him that there's a lane for that?
Exactly.
Like, this isn't the lane for that. This is the lane for, hey, quick self-checkout.
Right.
Not you're gonna have 50 bags walking out. Like, come on, man.
He's gonna get done with it and say, sir, you're in the wrong line.
And then right next to him was another lady that's buying about 20 items of clothes, and she's scanning each one. Can I check the price on this one? I'm like, this is self-checkout. Go to a lane for that.
You self checkout. You check your own price. You know.
Download the app. It tells you the price on there.
Jeez.
Golly, man.
And that's another thing too. Like it's older people. I mean, we already know that.
There was some young. The old guy was the 50 item, but the young girl was the clothes.
But then again, that goes, and we'll go back to it. That's just people being dumb.
Yeah.
Just people being stupid. Like, you could do the work and figure it out yourself before you get to the cash register. Like, if you pick something up, what are you going to do? You're going to look at how much it is, right? Oh, what's the price, right? So if you pick it up and it doesn't have a thing on it, why the fuck are you going to take it? Take something else that looks like it and say, hey, they're the same price. They're not the same size, but they're the same price. So this one has a ticket and this one doesn't, but I want to take the one that doesn't have a ticket. You know what I'm saying? Like, take two of the same thing.
I think it's just be considerate and have common sense.
You realize what city you're in?
Yeah, well, have common sense.
And it's not even just the cash registers, man. It's like the ATMs as well. Like I hardly go to the ATM because
really,
I hardly take cash out, right? But when I do go, there's always a line. And then they're there checking their balance. If you don't know what your fucking balance is, maybe you shouldn't be at the ATM, man.
Come on, 20.
Yeah.
Come on, 20.
All sevens, please. Jackpot. They think it's a freaking slot machine, man, or something. But they're just there.
They're just hoping.
Yes, dude.
Hoping it's something.
Damn.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
I don't know. I have my bank app. I can check my balance.
That too.
And that way I know exactly what I'm left.
My bank is not even it's not even a here. Like it's not a Bank of America. It's not a Frost Bank. It's like it's online. I can go to my phone and open everything up and do everything through my phone. Like, I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, but I don't know, man.
But see, that's a sign of the times, man. Because that's just how they, we're gonna become like Wall-E. And I think we've talked about that too. Do you remember the movie
I've never
Wall-E?
seen Wall-E.
Well, so eventually Wall-E. You seen Wall-E?
Yeah,
You seen Wall-E?
I saw it.
So just a quick synopsis. So basically, everybody's fat and lazy in the future. So they ruin Earth, right? So Earth gets ruined. They create these big, huge ships, and they put everybody on the ships, and everything is done for them. They just sit down on a chair that just hovers around and moves, and every one of them is like
a big person,
Louie Anderson size, like huge, back in the day.
Yeah,
I know. Rest in peace. But anyway, so that's what happens. It's like they ruin planet Earth, and they go on these big ships or whatever they're called, but everybody is on a chair. Everybody's fat, and they do everything by the chair. They watch TV. The food comes to them. They do everything.
Just push a button, and everything comes to you. Yep.
So that's how we're gonna end up.
Eventually.
And everybody wants to move to a different planet. Well, let's take care of this one.
No, send them off.
Let them go.
Let them go. The planet will be better without them.
I promise you, it's better up there. I swear.
And send them on the one that explodes 40 seconds into.
There's a special on Netflix about it. Is it still on there?
I haven't seen it.
Wait.
You're talking about that one. No, I was talking about the one that they just.
Oh, you're talking about the SpaceX one?
Yeah, the one that blew up seconds after taking off.
Yeah, luckily there wasn't anybody on it.
Yeah, nobody was on that one.
But, dude, really, like, why would you... You're gonna, like, it's a millionaire just trying to throw his money around to go up in a spaceship just so he can go live on Mars. Like, and what are you gonna do on Mars?
Ruin that planet.
You fuck that one up too. Then you're gonna want to be coming back. It'll be too late.
One-way tickets, guys. One-way tickets.
Yeah, just send them up and never bring them back.
Yeah.
Or tell them to go see the Titanic and never come back either.
we talked about that.
We talked about that one too.
Well, let me go over mine real quick. So, like, I know we always say that we don't want this to be like a sports show, and it's sports related, but it's more than that.
Kid
related. Oh God, it's more than that.
It's the entitlement of kids.
So I saw this TikTok that popped up because that's where we get our news, right?
Yep.
TikTok. So this TikTok popped up, and it was a coach. It was a college coach, major college coach for a major college team,
University,
Louisville.
Yep.
So I guess reporters asking him questions about a certain player that apparently didn't play the first half of the game, and he says straight out, he's like, "Well, I don't think I should be telling you this, but
I'm going to tell you anyways."
Yeah. So we didn't have the right tights for him, and he basically decided that he didn't want to play in the game because he didn't have the right tights.
Okay, it wasn't that they didn't have the right tights. They never had those tights. So he all of a sudden, game day, decides, I want this type of tights. Well, we don't have those. Well, then I'm not playing.
Are you fucking
I'd have been like, then go home.
So this is why I say it's more than sports, because now you're talking about these privileged shits, right?
Yep.
Who have the opportunity. He obviously he's got to be on a scholarship of some sort, right? So he's getting this shit paid for, and then to complain and not want to play because, well, you don't have the right tights. Can you imagine what would have happened if we were in school and we did that shit to our coaches? We would have never played that fucking game. We would have never played again.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's like you said, it's they're privileged. So and they don't realize the opportunity that they have because there's a lot of people that never get that opportunity.
Exactly. How many people are sitting at home right now
wishing that they were
playing that game
or on that field?
But yeah, this motherfucker don't got tight, so I'm not gonna fucking play. No, fuck you, man.
Like, what kind of tights was he complaining about?
It was only, and when they showed a picture of him, it was one of those tights that was only like one side,
one leg,
like one leg.
The one that just like
or
one sleeve with a
compression. Yeah, but it's only on one.
So it goes up, but there's only one leg. Or unless he cut it off. I don't know what the deal was. But I'm like, really, dude? Really? This is why I say it's more than sports. Because, dude, this is what we're dealing with now. This is the way the kids are.
Superstar mentality.
Like, the dude, he's not even in the NBA. If you're in the NBA, fucking complain all you want. Why? Because you're going to have the money to go buy the fucking tights that you want.
Or you're going to have the money to get a coach ejected.
And that's another thing. Elaborate on that one. Elaborate on what you're talking about. That was the NBA, right?
Yeah, that was NBA. Yes. Yeah, the coach called him soft. They gave him a technical and threw him out.
No, he called him a bitch. Well,
he
said
he called him
first.
He said bitch, right? But he wasn't aiming it at LeBum.
No, he was saying like y'all are all.
Y'all are all. Like he was basically saying
the team.
Y'all, right?
The team. Your
Stop
team.
acting like bitches.
Yes.
And so he was talking to who? His team or
no? He
Lakers?
He was talking to their team.
Oh, he was talking to the Lakers.
Yeah, he was talking to their team.
Okay.
But he's basically telling them like, man, y'all are complaining about everything, and y'all are acting like bitches. Like, stop acting like bitches. And he took offense to it. LeBum did, and decided, you're not gonna call me that. And he's like, I didn't call you that. And they kind of had an exchange, and so the ref right there and gave them both technicals and threw both of them out.
No, he didn't throw. He
threw both of them out.
Oh, he threw LeBum out too?
I thought he just threw. Just threw Ime out.
No, he threw both of them out.
That's what more surprising was that he threw him out first, didn't he?
Well,
because they showed the video shows,
and he goes,
"Oh, okay, I didn't see that."
He does that because he gives them both technicals, but Ime already had one. That's why he got ejected because he already had a technical.
So, wait. So we got to get context because if not, somebody's gonna get upset, and we know who that is. Like name drop's gonna get mad because we didn't get.
That's right.
So this happened in the NBA game.
Rockets and Lakers.
He's coaching the Rockets. So Ime Udoka's coach of the Rockets, and they're playing the Lakers, right? So apparently somebody gets a foul, or they got chippy, right? Somebody was kind of going at each other, whatever. So Ime does it, and he mouths, y'all are bitches.
Yeah.
So apparently LeBum, which is LeBron, gets upset because he thinks that Ime is talking to him.
Yep.
And so they go at it, and Ime not gonna fucking back down. Like he's like, "Fuck you, LeBron." Like I'm not gonna back down.
Ass.
So he tells him some shit. What else did he tell him? He told him that he was soft.
He just told him he was soft.
Yeah, he told him he was soft.
That's when they gave him the technical because he said you were soft.
So that's the basis of it. Yeah. So he calls him soft, and then the referee, which is standing, I mean, he's like,
I said it. Like SOFT, soft. What you gonna do, Claude? What you gonna do?
I said it. It had to be said.
From
life.
Y'all really need to. Me and Kranky were talking about it before Louie got here. We're like, man, the movies that we used to watch. It's like we had barely gotten here. I was already quoting movies. But anyway, yeah. So that's from Soft.
Yeah. So
that's from
I guess LeBum didn't get ejected.
No. So he didn't.
He didn't.
I know he didn't. So when he called him
makes
soft,
him more of a baby back.
When he called him soft, the referee was like a foot from him or something, and he chunks Ime. I'm like, really? Fuck you.
He probably slept with his wife too, so I don't know.
She's next. She's next. She was next. We next, Clyde.
We next, Clyde.
The upper room.
That's where you sent him.
When Jesus. That's from Life also. Mm-hmm. Oh man, that's funny.
Oh, all right.
Tasty.
Tasty. Well, so today, Kranky sent us a news feed from the Tickety Talk.
Where we get our news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was talking about a surcharge that is given to patrons who are, quote, unable to parent, unquote. So I had to pull up an article, right? So I went to the USA Today and pulled up an article, and it talks about this restaurant in Georgia, and it is, I don't know how to say it, Toccoa Riverside Restaurant.
It looks like it's in the backwoods, like
Yeah.
somewhere where you shouldn't even be in Georgia.
Well, I'll guarantee you this. I know that we would not probably be there. Okay.
Yeah, unless we're working in there.
Not even. I remember my only visit to Georgia. Well, not my only visit. I've visited a few times, but my first visit to Georgia, I literally sat in an Applebee's with other of our kind and a couple other minorities, and we never got waited on.
Are you fucking
With
kidding
nobody
me?
in the restaurant, they were just staring at us and would just walk away from us. It made me kind of remember the whole Chicago fiasco that we had, you know, at a Lucky Sandwich Shop on the wrong side of town.
Yeah.
You know, but we so believe me, I mean, you know, I know we don't talk about race all the time, but it was racist.
It was racist.
So I could see this.
Party foul.
Party foul.
He didn't want to drink it. It was sitting there for a while, dude.
I forgot about it. Well, anyways. Oh my goodness. Anyways, technical difficulties. Just so that everybody knows, I spilled my shot. I had a shot ready to go.
We definitely don't encourage drinking, but
At least there wasn't a fire around. But anyways,
this is my table, man. You can't get it all messed up.
back to the news.
You should see what else. You should see what else I spill on there. You might not want it back.
Well, I knew there was something sticky on there. That's why I was like, I thought it was the box you gave me. And I'm like, wait
now
a minute.
I'm just gonna have to take the shot.
Liquid courage.
Well, anyways, so back to this restaurant.
So backwoods of Georgia.
Back with Georgia, right? So these people, it was 5 families with, I think it was 21 people total.
Wow.
And 11 of them were children. And so at the end of their dining experience, they receive the bill, and on the bill there's an extra line that has a surcharge for unable to parent. Basically meaning they were, I guess, allowing their kids to run wild in the restaurant,
do whatever,
and so they charged them this fee. Okay, now the owner of this restaurant says that he's had that basically charge on the menu for a long time.
I think he said since COVID.
Yes, since COVID, but he's never used it. He's never had to use it, and he said so if they literally went over there to tell them this charge, then it had to have been that bad. Right.
Yeah.
And his famous line was, I already raised my children. I'm not about to raise yours. So here's a charge, right? It was $50. Now,
$50?
From what I read in the article, they say that they didn't actually get charged of it. Like they ended up taking off the charge. I guess there was a lot of pushback and,
shit. Yeah.
So, and I'm thinking, I know Kranky said, man, $50 is a lot, right? Maybe it would have been less. However, you're talking about 21 people, so you're talking about 5 families. If they split it up, that's $10 per family.
11 kids, you said?
11 kids.
They didn't say the ages?
They didn't say the ages of the kids. However, the one of the family members on the TikTok, he does say that his kids were, I think, between the ages of 3 and 11 or something like that, right? So, granted, you have a bunch of little kids, right?
Right.
But he said he's never had to do that. So obviously it had to have been that bad. And so the families, of course, made this thing go viral. So this was just last month, I believe, October 30th or something like that.
Okay.
So when Kranky brought it up, I was like, man, I think you mentioned it, Porky. You were like, let them try that here.
No.
So I want to get y'all's take first before I actually give mine, because I'm kind of on the fence on this one.
Are you?
I'm on the fence on this
really?
one. I really am. I'm on the fence on this one.
Well, I mean, let's change the venue. Let's change the state. Let's take it out of the backwoods of fucking Georgia, because I still say that's where it was.
Bring it to the backwoods of San Antonio.
And let's bring it to the west side. Let's bring it to the west side of San Antonio.
Or east or south.
Or south. Yeah. Okay. Somewhere.
You might get away with that in Stone Hill.
Yeah.
You're not getting away with that here.
Let's be honest, dude. Okay, in Georgia, maybe one thing, but in fucking San Antonio, put it on the west side, put it on the south side, you will have a fucking riot.
Oh, it'll be a fight.
It'll be a fight
and
if you try to put that sort of charge on somebody's bill.
And it'll be on the news.
But that's like the worst part that you should have it on. Those sides of town. Like you should have it on the west side and the south side. And
that's what has the most kids?
Yes. And they're the ones that don't parent.
Well, okay, yeah, and I get that. I guess I don't know if I'm on the fence, as well, but I'm on the side of fuck that. Like, that's my kid. Are you gonna charge me because my kid maybe dropped something on the floor, maybe ran around for 2 seconds? I mean, really, how bad was it? And they don't really say.
They don't really say. Now, what one of them said was that I guess the kids were running around, right?
Yeah.
And I read a bunch of the comments on the TikTok video, and 98% of the comments were in agreement with this charge. Okay. I did see. Now I will tell you, I did see that a bunch of those comments came from Houston, and you know how I feel about Houston.
See, that's where I thought it was at. Because when you see the video, it says location.
Location, yeah.
Houston.
Yeah, but it was.
Well, maybe it was a Houston TV station, maybe.
Yeah, they Houston posted it. Okay. Yeah. That's why I thought it was from Houston.
Wow, we really hate Houston, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
So, I read all these comments, right? And like I said, 98% were in agreement. And a lot of them, did mention, I guess, how we were brought up. Sit your ass down. Unless you want to get smacked, I saw some. You want to act like that? Go sit in the car, or I'm gonna send you to the bathroom. Whatever, right? Little things. But if you were to do that here, it would not fly. No, I don't see that flying anywhere other than, like you mentioned, over there in some freaking backwoods Georgia. Yeah.
And I think they should do it here, Butte, because nobody cooks anymore. Everybody wants to frickin' go out and eat. And you did, and they had to take everybody to go with them. And you know how they don't parent nowadays, and sometimes kids just run around, and sometimes man, people are trying to work. That's people's jobs right there, man. You know, and a lot of these people that are servers and stuff like that, they're young. They're kids, dude.
And a lot of the comics were servers, and they were, waiters and people that work in the, I guess, service industry.
Service industry.
Right.
Sin.
The reason I say I'm on the fence. So, I know my kids, my boys, when they were growing up, I didn't have them that way. They weren't going to be running around. They weren't going to be, if they're crying, they're crying. I mean, they're kids, they're babies, or they're kids, right? And that happens. But they're not going to be throwing stuff from the table. They're not going to be jumping off the chair and running around the table. They're not going to be doing that, right? Mm-hmm. And kind of like how Kranky mentioned, a lot of kids. Well, Sabrina has some kids, right? And they range from right now from 10 to 16. And Portman went after you. They range from 10 to 16. Yeah. But I've been, we've been together for a while, so I've been with them when they were 4 and 5 years old, right? Yeah. And never at any point did she allow them to be running around and acting a fool. Yeah. It was sit down. Honestly, I'm going to tell you like this, and this is to this day, before we get off anywhere, whether it's at a family member's house, whether it's at a restaurant, whether anywhere in public, her statement to the kids before the doors are unlocked: don't embarrass me, because I'll embarrass you.
But that's what we all heard growing up. We all heard that growing up.
And let me tell you,
I remember hearing that growing up.
She basically parents the way we were parented, right?
That's old school.
And so she says, don't embarrass me. You act right. You greet. You say hello. You do everything. Right. Like you do that, and don't be acting a fool. And that's literally every single time no matter where we're getting off at. Right? Even if we're getting off at an amusement park, it's like kids are gonna go out. Don't act a fool. Okay? Yeah. So,
but they're acting a fool.
Yeah, exactly. But when I'm with my with my dad, we can do because
I ain't gotta worry about him.
Dumbasses. That's why. But so I get it, and this is the reason I'm on the fence, because I know that we don't allow the kids to just run amok us, right? They're not just gonna be running around and acting crazy. Sit down, have a seat, stop acting like that. Don't be too loud.
Right.
We're in a public place. Whatever. I have seen some kids, and yes, they're running around, but when I see parents that grab their kids and put them and sit them down and be like, stop it, at least they're addressing the situation.
Right.
Now, I have seen some where they don't address the situation and they literally turn a blind eye, and they're sitting there like if they never saw their kid running around the freaking restaurant, not around the table, but around the restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
And I get that. I'm like, can you charge somebody for that?
See, I just don't see that, man.
You mean you can. Obviously, you can charge somebody for that.
He can, because it's his restaurant, and he can charge what he wants.
Maybe they put it on. Okay, if it's on the menu.
It was on the menu, he said.
Okay, yeah. Maybe they put it on the door before you go in. Maybe so that could be like in bold letters, like, hey, you know.
Yeah.
Because you know how you parent your kids, and you see that, well, I ain't gonna get charged because my kids are gonna be all right.
Right.
But the people that,
that's gonna cause people. It's gonna give that place, that backwoods place, a reputation.
Yeah, but we don't go to Georgia, so who cares?
Well, I know, but think about. I mean, what if there's people there, and I don't know. Maybe it is backwoods. I don't know. I'm just saying because it's Georgia. But like, what is it like now? You're already all over the news. You're already all over TikTok, right? And you got people who are saying yes. Who wants to go to that restaurant?
Okay, now? So I'm glad you brought that up.
Who wants to go?
Glad you brought that up. So there was a guy.
Don't have kids.
Because again, put it here. Because if that shit happened one time to one person here, that shit would be all over in 2 seconds, and that nobody would fucking go to that restaurant.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. Because over there, they had a guy. Of course, he was an older man, and you saw the video. He said he drove over an hour just to visit that restaurant because he loved that policy. But he was, of course, you see him, he's probably in his 70s and 80s, right?
Did he have a Confederate flag on the back of his truck?
Well, and I was gonna say, and he was of the lighter color ethnicity, right?
Okay.
And so I can see that, right? But you're right. How would you do that here? Now there was another lady that says she was interviewed, and she says if you have children, don't go. She goes, we were 3 adults, 2 children, and our 4-month baby, and the minute we walked in, all they did was give them bad looks. So I guarantee you, there's gonna be people that are gonna have some, they're gonna have backlash on it, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of people, especially with 98% of the comments saying that they agree with it, if they live in that area, they're gonna continue to have business, and they're gonna be applauded for it.
Right.
They're gonna be praised for it. They're gonna be given flowers for it. They're gonna be, and as much as they went viral in a bad way, because of the way they, from the point of view, right?
Got you.
Of the person,
right?
I guarantee you, there's gonna be another video soon on the different point of view,
right?
Because there's gonna be people saying this is a good thing,
right?
So
why not? Here, okay. One of my other things. Why not just make it flat out no kids? If you can charge that,
make it 21 and over.
Yeah. If you can charge that, because there's no law or there's nothing that's saying it's your business, you can charge whatever you want. But if you're gonna do that, then just don't allow kids. Wouldn't that be smart?
I mean, not really, because then you're losing out on the kids' meal money.
Okay, so you're saying that you're gonna take a chance and you're gonna say you're gonna be watching those people like hawks.
That's a high risk, high reward. Because you're also getting $50 extra for them acting a fool. You're getting their $5.99 child's plate. Yes, all right, we'll take that.
Turns into $55.
But it'll turn to $55 because he's acting a fool. Can't even stay in his seat.
Okay, so then, if it's gonna fly in the backwoods of Georgia with Confederate flags, then okay. Fine.
To be fair, that's where that flag originated in Georgia.
In Dixie. But I mean, no. I mean, I see it. Okay, it wouldn't work here. I mean, you know that.
Yeah, I don't see
it wouldn't even work in Texas.
Let's put it to a test, man. Let's go to a restaurant and say, hey, ask the manager, would you do this, and why or why not?
You know what? I'll do that. I'll do that. Because like Kranky said, we like to go out, so we go out all the time. Yeah. So, but I have a different spin on this though. I don't know if y'all ever saw the video of there was a McDonald's, and there was a bunch of senior citizens that were having a bingo day at McDonald's. Okay.
I never saw that one.
I'm trying to think.
And I didn't see it on TikTok, but I like to.
Now I don't believe it.
Hold on.
It wasn't on TMZ.
Hold on. But it was a video though. So I like to watch the A&E shows, right? Different shows, First 48, all this other stuff. Well, they have one show,
and you watch Friends too.
Yeah, I do. So they have a show that's called Customer Wars.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, so they have parking wars, they have customer wars, they have neighborhood wars, they have all these different ones. So this Customer Wars one, they show a video of there's a senior citizens day that they're having bingo, right? And while they're there, there's a family there, and they have the kids running in the play place.
Okay,
right? They're not running through the restaurant.
They're in the play area.
Place.
Wait, does McDonald's have play places?
They still do.
They do.
The one
I don't know if they use
it.
They do.
Yeah.
Some of them might have them closed.
Some of them still have it.
I think some of them don't, right? A lot of them don't.
A lot of them might be just to a straight restaurant.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I want to say even the one on Marbach might still have it.
I can't remember that one.
I think they still have it. That's the one on Marbach and 410.
Well, I'm trying to think the one on Military and Roosevelt. Because they had the whole front of it.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Usually right in the front.
I don't think they have it, man.
But it's there. I just don't know if it's open.
Okay, well, the one in Old Pearsall is.
There's kids that go in there.
The one in Old Pearsall is because, again, there's a lot of little ones and we take them right.
I think the one in our parents' neighborhood doesn't have one. No. The new one.
No, I don't think it does either because I went over there. Yeah, I went to that one. And they cheated
16?
me out of some fucking money, so fuck them. But, so...
Did they charge you a fee?
They charged me and they didn't give me what I wanted. But, so, the video shows the fact, I guess the mom now is recording, and so she's recording at these old people. And basically older ladies. They weren't even the men. They were older ladies.
Wow.
Yelling at the kids to shut up and be quiet because they can't hear the numbers that are being called.
At fucking McDonald's?
Yes. And the lady's like, well, hold on. My kids are in the play place. They're not even running to the restaurant.
Oh, fuck
They're
that.
in the play place. And even if they were sitting down and just being kids and yelling and screaming, they're not being unruly. They're just being kids sitting in the booth while they're eating with their Happy Meals or whatever. Why are you telling them to shut up? And first of all, she wasn't even saying, like, can you keep your kids down? She's yelling at the kids directly saying, shut up. I can't hear the number. And then turns around to the lady and says, can you shut your kids up? Right?
Wow.
Yelling. So it's like, you got to see it from both sides now. Because if you're looking at one that says the restaurant's like, hey, man, you got some unruly kids. I'm going to charge you an extra fee. But then you go to basically what's a kid's place. And you have older people upset that the kids are being loud. So where the hell are they supposed to be loud at?
Do they even have a permit to have bingo there at McDonald's?
Exactly. I don't know.
I
don't know.
You can find 50 different places that have a fucking bingo thing.
Yes.
And they want to go to
And they want to go to
McDonald's.
McDonald's and have a freaking bingo day.
And unless the kids were yelling out the number, B12. Then, okay, you have a gripe.
Yeah. If they're yelling bingo, bingo, then I get it.
Okay, but other than that,
But it's just because they're being loud.
Yeah.
These old people are getting pissed off, and I'm like, I mean, so are you gonna tell me they're gonna have bingo at Peter Piper's next? Like,
well,
what's the?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
They make extra money, man. They're always packed though.
I don't know, man. Was also in Backwoods, Georgia?
I don't know.
Well, they were
about
the
it.
light skinned. I don't know where it was at, but it was they were light skinned.
But, I mean, come on,
no offense to our
man.
light skinned listeners,
I know we have light skinned people, but I mean, come on. Of all the places
To have a bingo. Why are you gonna have it at McDonald's?
Why at McDonald's? Or have it somewhere else where you're not near the playpen or the play area.
And McDonald's is not a big restaurant in the first place.
Exactly.
It's maybe like 60-40, like 60 restaurant, 40 playground.
Yeah,
something like that, or maybe a little bit.
Well, they keep
70,
changing
30.
them.
And even at that, most people go through the drive-through.
Oh, that too.
Yeah,
I mean,
double drive.
because I guarantee you, when I'm like, man, I just want to grab something really quick, and I go and there's like 50 cars, I'm like, what the hell? And that's when I go to my app, and I do a curbside really quick and just go park.
Well, you know what? Okay, we're going on a different subject now. But you know why I don't do curbside? Because they take just as fucking long.
they do.
So that's happened to me. I literally had promised the kids one time. I said, hey man, I'm gonna get y'all breakfast before I take y'all to school, right? So I'm like, okay, let me go, and I see the line. I'm like, yeah, we're not doing that.
No.
Place the order, which I should have done before we left.
Of course.
But I didn't, right? But I placed it while I'm driving up because I saw the line. I go and park, and me, I don't know if anybody else does this, but I do it. I always see which car's the last car, right? So then I'm sitting there and I see the last car pass. I'm like, what the hell? I should have just stayed in line.
Exactly.
I should have just stayed in line.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
Yeah. Okay,
You're not the only one.
This is a topic for another day, but
we're gonna keep going.
But I like it because you place your mobile order for a reason. But they don't start making your order
Until you
get to the
until you say
fucking
I'm checked in.
Yes.
And McDonald's does that.
Yes.
Because you can place the order,
Chick-fil-A does that.
Well, yeah, but you know what though?
"Are you
Chick-fil-A is
here?"
still fast.
Yeah,
Well, Chick-fil-A is still fast.
I don't have any complaints about Chick-fil-A.
No, even the
Not
mobile,
even
like
ordering
I can
on that,
literally
yeah.
place it because I see the line. I can place it, and I'm still gonna get it
Yeah, yeah.
before the
Well,
last
yeah,
call.
okay.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's
No.
fast.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A, actually, I got to give them that.
Yeah.
They
Wait,
actually
the reason for the
Whataburger is another one that takes forever.
they take
dude.
forever.
Yes.
See, but the reason for the mobile app is to place your order so that way when you get there, it's ready.
Yeah, because it's
Well,
not
do that
their
shit,
fault.
man.
That's
And
what
here's the thing. It's not their fault that it's cold if you get there late.
Exactly.
Right.
Because it tells you what time. Because it even asks you what time do you want it for.
And if you want ASAP
Yeah,
or
ASAP.
Okay,
later,
so it's
yeah.
ASAP,
They
and if
give
I
you-
get there
they
at the
give you a
time,
time.
yeah, they say 10 minutes, right?
10 to 15 minutes.
Because I'll tell you like this, I order pizza for my son every Thursday, and it used to start. It was for my son, but now it's for my parents too because they
From where?
From Little Caesars.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But I order it. And all they do is go to the portal.
Yes,
And push
that's
the
what-
number,
pick it up,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Now
No.
that one to me is the freaking best.
Well, okay.
It works great because
I have a gripe
it's
about
on
that,
time.
though.
Well, for the most part, it's on time.
Yeah.
Okay. But all the other places, you're right. They don't make it until you check in. And when you check in, then you're sitting there waiting for another 10, 15 minutes. And that's not good.
I've tried several, right? I've tried Whataburger. Whataburger starts making your shit right away. They do. So it gives you a time. I've had some other
experiences, but
well, but every time I've done it, it gives you a time. Obviously, okay. And if you get there late, it's gonna be cold.
Oh yeah,
because they make
it's not their fault,
right? I know. But
I think this is a topic for right now. Thank you. Not another time. I think we're talking about it now.
Switch.
It's a remix.
Quit bopping the table.
It's a remix,
which is from
House Party. The original House Party.
The original, yes.
The new one blows.
The Martin Lawrence in there.
The second one was all right too.
Oh, it was Martin Lawrence in the second
one. Newest
one. Oh yeah,
the newest one.
No,
really?
1 and 2 were really good. I like the 3 was but
man, I'm about to burst your bubble, man. I ain't seen either one of those movies.
Shut up.
I'm honestly, dude.
Damn.
I haven't seen either one. Anyway,
okay.
I smell
from Bubba.
Okay. No, that's from House Party.
Yeah. But okay, so Whataburger. As soon as you place the order, it says ASAP. Boom, they start making it. So if you get there late, it's gonna be cold. You get sucky fries, right? Okay, but whoever's fault it is, But my thing with Little Caesars is several times that I've gone to Little Caesars and done the portal thing. I've showed up and the fucking pizza's not in there when it said it was ready.
Okay.
So hold on. So they said it wasn't ready, right? So then I'm there and I say, "Oh, I'm here to pick up the order. It's supposed to be in, slot 7 or whatever." Like, oh, okay. Oh, it's like 8 minutes. I'm like, fucking said it was done.
Okay.
It fucking said it was done. I want my fucking pizza now, and I waited one time. I'm very pissed off about this. I waited 15 minutes at least.
Okay.
To get my fucking pizza that they said was ready 15 minutes ago.
Now let me ask you, because I use the app every week, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the app tells you, it gives you a time. It gives you, 3:15 to 3:24.
Because you can pick the time.
No. But like you put ASAP, right?
Okay.
Then it'll tell you it'll be ready between 3:15 and 3:24. Okay.
Yeah.
However, when it's ready, it gives you the notification.
Yeah, that is ready.
And it'll tell you your pizza's ready for pickup. Because I'll tell you, there's been a couple times the same way at Little Caesars where I've ordered pizza and I've gone at the time where it says it should be ready between this time. And when I showed up, yes, I've actually waited 10, 15 minutes and I'm upset, right? Because I'm like, it should have been ready.
Yeah.
But I never got the notification. When I get the notification, I know the pizza's ready. And let me tell you, when I show up, it's ready. It's there. When I get the notification, though.
I'm confused. What notification? Because if it's going to tell you what time that it should be ready.
See, that's why you have an Android and not an iPhone.
It has nothing to do with fucking Android, man.
Your order is ready.
But I get the time that I wait.
So
it
for
said
those
that
of you
it was
on,
ready.
on the air, I just showed Porky a notification that I had from last week, and it says your pizza's ready. Now I'll tell you this: there's been times when I showed up and I never got the notification, but I went during the time that it said it should be ready, and I'm thinking the same thing. I'm not happy because it should have been ready during the time that you said it would have been ready.
You said it was going to be ready at this time. It has to be ready at this time.
There's time it's like, well, it was Super Bowl. What do you expect? Or it was, things like that, right?
See, I expect that from Wingstop.
Okay, what Little Caesars is that?
An hour and a half.
Yeah.
What Little Caesars is that?
Which one?
It's the one on Military. Oh, right across the street from the Whataburger.
On the one in Brooks.
No. What else?
Oh, one for HEB, closer to
HEB.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Closer to HEB.
Yeah.
And then the Whataburger's right across the street.
Yeah.
Because I use the app and I get if I get there early and I'll go
right
inside.
next to the Islas de Maria.
Yeah, right across the street.
Because I used to do the one at Brooks a lot. Because,
Right.
And that one was awesome.
Well, I'll tell you, I do the one on Old Pearsall. That one works all the time. The one on Valley High, that one gives me a lot of trouble.
Yeah. See, this one right here, this one sucks.
The one on Military, West Military, by Marbach, that one's really good too.
No.
That one's really good too. So, and I'm telling you, it just depends
on which Little Caesars,
which one it is, right?
Yeah. I've always had issues with that one. That one at Brooks, though, is good.
And Whataburger, I've had some good experiences, and I've had some really bad ones where I'm sitting there waiting forever too, and it's just...
See, and that's why I do pickup. And I don't do the curbside because it seems to me that the curbside takes longer.
Well, even at McDonald's, they're out there.
But even if I go, but like I said, with Whataburger, you have to get there before that time because then you can go inside and say, and then as soon as it's ready, boom, you grab it. But you don't have to get in, because it's convenient.
But that's the thing about these mobile apps, though, is that you have them so that way people could use them. So that way, when they're there, their food is ready.
Right.
That's but it's not. It's not, man. Subway is though. I'll get Subway props. I'll do Subway, and they're.
You know what though?
I'll walk in the Subway. You got a mobile order? Like
There it is. You know what? And that's the one where I probably should. And I hardly ever use the mobile one. Mm-hmm. I only use the app just so I can get my points.
Oh yeah.
Right. So I can get my $2 off after.
Yeah.
You get a half price on a foot
And honestly, man, the only reason I actually use the apps is just to get points. And get the free crap.
Because I'll use the McDonald's one all the time, because when on my way to work, I'm like, I think I want a frap.
Buy one, get one free. Boom. Buy one, get one free breakfast sandwich all the time, dude.
Yeah.
It's in the app every morning, dude.
The kids always laugh, right? Whenever they see my app. Because I'm always over 20-something thousand points on McDonald's, right? Yeah. But I use them too. But you know which one I use the most? Because, of course, there's a lot of us now, right? I use the 20% off one. Which is 20% off your, anything over $15 or whatever. Well, man, my orders are always 20 plus, right?
But so that do you have to use that when you place the order?
Okay, so yes. So,
okay, well then you have to use it. We can't just go to the line and say, hey, I have the app.
No.
I think you can.
Oh, wait, okay. So they used to. You used to be able to go through the line and use the 20%, right?
Yeah, because they can scan the barcode.
But not anymore. Now it literally says right there. It says you have to place a mobile order. And I'm like, okay,
that's what I'm saying.
Well, but it's still fine. I'm still getting 20% off. I mean, which is something.
Well, so that's why I say it's different when you do the curbside, because it seems like they take longer. But if you do the order in the app and then you go to the drive-through and say, hey, I'm here, that's when they make it.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. McDonald's.
Yeah. When you check in.
So that's the better.
McDonald's. Honestly, I've seen that with Whataburger sometimes. They make it when you arrive.
But Whataburger, you cannot go to the drive-through unless it's after 11.
Really?
So yeah.
Well, why do they give you the option of drive-through or?
It's not. It's blurred out. So during the day, you can't go through the.
Yeah, he's gonna look
right
now.
Look it up.
We're about to find out right now.
But when you do it, during,
I know that's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna see if it gives me the option to go inside it.
Yeah, after 11 p.m.
or go through the drive-through.
Yeah, after 11 p.m. when they start serving breakfast.
You can't go through the drive-through.
You can place the order and pick it up through the drive-through.
But you can't go.
But before 11, you have to either.
Curbside or walk in.
Right.
I didn't know that.
Louis doing it right now.
We'll find out.
Hey, well, they got buy one get one free chili cheeseburger.
And by the way,
I've been wanting to try that though.
No, I tried the chili cheese fries.
No, not the chili cheese fries. The chili cheeseburger.
Yeah, but it's the same chili.
Yeah, but so the chili wasn't good.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
Have you tried it?
I wanted to, man.
Something.
Way to bust my bubble.
I know. I tried it because I wanted to try it.
And I was gonna do it tomorrow because it's the last day tomorrow to do it. Buy one going free.
I will just do it so that way you can judge for yourself.
There it is. Tap to redeem. Buy one get one free. Yep. Chili cheeseburger.
All right. So place an order and see if you can pick it up before 11 through the drive-through. It's not gonna let you. I'm telling you. So for people out there, don't go to the backwoods of Georgia. Don't go to that place and take your kids, because if you have unruly kids, they're going to charge you.
Set your pickup method. Dine in, take out, curbside, or delivery.
Right. There's no drive-through.
Oh, yeah. It says after 10.
Oh, wait. Which Whataburger, though, are you doing?
I did the one right here on 90
No, they're all the same.
Military.
They're all the same. I've tried
the one right here on Commerce and Darren Muller. West Side.
This message is brought to you by Whataburger. What a burger!
Commerce and John McMullen.
No, we make it so much easier, but for whatever reason, they don't allow you to do it during the day.
Yep, it says after 10, sir.
Yeah, so see if you get out of work, right?
Cancel.
But you know why though? Because you ever seen the lines in the drive-through at Whataburger between those times? They're
really busy.
They're really long.
Yeah,
they're really long.
So it's probably the best option is just to go inside and get it if you've already ordered it.
Okay, so you can go inside and pick it up, but you can't go to the drive-through.
But you can either do curbside delivery or go inside and grab it.
Pick it up. Yeah.
The only good thing about those things is because you can go kind of like.
And you can go dine in too, though.
Well, yeah.
You just grab it and then go sit down.
Because it's a matter of you want your shit hot. Like the bad experience I have with Whataburger. That's
like your girls. You want your chicks hot.
You want them nice and moist.
Hey, you know what? Which brings us to the Matrix.
The Matrix.
The Matrix that Kranky sent.
What was that?
The triangle of the women.
Yes.
I
We'll get into that in a
missed
bit.
that.
Hold on, how much time do we got?
Oh, just keep going. Fuck. We'll edit this.
Well,
shit.
I'm just saying. So
Well, I gotta go
Kranky
pee.
sent us the video of the Matrix. The Matrix of women, of dating women. And it was like
You have to repeat it. God
there
damn
was
it.
a triangle and there's 3.
You know what? I didn't see it. I saw the beginning of it. No, you're gonna have to explain it. You're gonna have to explain
literally
it.
says either you have a woman that's hot, beautiful, and sane. You can have 2, but you can't have all 3. Right?
Right.
I mean, honestly, man. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you like this. I think you're gonna have. I think you could do it with men too, right? Because
Of course.
and of course we got to get a woman's perspective.
We need to have a woman's perspective. Unfortunately.
Yes, we do.
Oh yeah, and actually that was one of the comments.
No, we don't, because women don't go for looks unless they're gold diggers.
Or if it's a one night stand.
With
What do you mean?
who? With an ugly
If
guy.
it's a one night stand, then they're gonna go for looks.
Oh, that's true. That's
Well,
okay.
Okay, okay.
Well,
I've seen
I don't know, because they've been drinking.
Well, it depends on where you're
Back
getting
in
the one night.
the day,
Depends on where you're getting the one night stand from.
Old Tin Barn.
Oh my goodness!
Shout out to Old Tim Barn.
He had to go there. He had to go there.
Because
I mean, I've never had a one night stand.
oh my god.
I drink to that.
Hey, it might have been 2, but not one night. I'm just saying.
You're already in the doghouse, dude. You really want to keep going there?
Well, because I don't
My
think
past is my past.
I don't think with dudes.
He's talking all this shit right now. And he's gonna go. Oh,
She's gonna
I'm
hear
sorry.
it.
I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry.
She's gonna hear it.
I'm sorry,
because
baby.
I think
I'm
with
sorry.
us is like it's okay. It's a one night stand at the time, but then I think it eventually evolves into a booty call.
Booty call.
It can evolve into a booty call.
To me,
So you're talking about further on down the line.
You have that one night stand, but now it's like, hey, let me get your number.
Now she's on
and
call.
it'll be a
She's on speed dial. Number 1. Bing.
It depends.
Number 2.
It depends on where she lands in the Matrix.
Oh, she's 69.
So the Matrix, you saw the Matrix, right?
Yeah,
It was
now-
hot,
now I remember.
beautiful. Oh no, it's hot,
Hot,
sane,
and single.
and single.
So you can't have all 3.
You can't have
all
You're
three.
gonna
You have two out of- you have to have two.
Right. That's what I do remember now.
So
he was
she's
telling. He was
hot
saying.
and single. She's not sane. If she's hot and sane, she's not single.
Right.
Yeah, and if she's hot and single, or if she's single and sane,
she's not. But it was like Barney said too in How I Met Your Mother, the hot crazy scale. If she's this hot, then she's this crazy.
Yeah.
Or if she's this crazy, then she's got to be this hot.
Yeah.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
and which leads me to now you have to think about that. Is it really that they're crazy, or is it that they're just high maintenance? Because some guys will see, they'll take the high maintenance part is like, you're fucking crazy for wanting this or expecting this, but it's really it's their mentality, right?
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
And so, but I do have to agree. If she's hot and single, she's not gonna be sane.
Not sane.
If she's hot and sane, she's not gonna be
that makes a
single.
lot of sense.
Well, I've seen a little not a poster, but it was just basically a little sign, and it said, and it belonged to a woman, and it said, "No rich man is ugly."
Exactly. I believe that.
That goes along.
Have you ever seen that when you have the 45, 40, 50-year-old, 60-year-olds with the backwards hat and at the bar and have all these girls? Yeah, I get it.
Girls, yeah.
Yeah.
Then he's just gifting them money,
He's just-
because
yes.
they need. The
He's
help.
giving them
They need the
something.
help.
Yeah.
He's putting them to college,
Yeah. He's giving them something.
and they're
This,
not, and he's not getting nothing in return.
Of course,
A lot of times.
No, he's never getting
They're
anything.
getting in return.
By the way, this part of the show is brought to you by Trojan.
And Hornitos.
Heavy on the
Tuesday,
Hornitos.
baby. Tequila Tuesday.
Heavy on the Hornitos. On the horror part.
Tequila Tuesday, man.
Oh my god.
Oh. I know we derailed at some
Dude,
point.
we went off the track.
We went
10,
from
15 minutes ago.
we went from a surcharge for not able to parent.
We went to
mobile orders
from the backwoods
to one
of
night
Georgia to McDonald's
To the hot, sexy scale.
to the Matrix.
to the Matrix.
Oh my goodness! But this is what we do.
I think.
And I think this is, you know what? Some people might say, "Man, you're all over the place," but I think it's interesting.
But who says that?
Name drop, Rod.
Name drop, Raj.
Well, he's the only
He's the
one.
only
He's the only one that always says everything.
Well, at least we don't do it with an accent. You know?
Shots fired!
Bam! Like shots.
If you're listening to local,
shots being fired all over the place,
man.
all over the face too. Like, there you go. Take that.
you know it. So, and for those of you that are still listening at this point of the show,
And I can tell.
Yes.
I can go
Well, and not
to
only that-
Spotify and I can tell if you're listening.
well,
or
not only that, I'll tell you like this: there's been things that we've said towards the end of the show that I've gotten feedback on. I've had people send
Such
messages
as?
and being like, "Hey, like I heard this part, you know, this was funny, right?" So I know that there's people that do listen throughout.
Yeah.
And I know there's people that, you know, they start listening and they kind of fall
And
off.
it drops,
I get it.
They drops off. Yeah, unfortunately.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I've done that on some podcasts too. I get it, you know. But I think ours is it's way more interesting than some others, man, that we've dealt with. So, or that we mentioned, or that we insinuate.
Yeah, I saw this one, and of course, you know, it was a girl, and she was, you know, she was from Los Angeles or whatever, so she was Mexican, and you know, she would look okay. She looked okay, right? She looked okay, she looked hot. But the name of the podcast was Sexcessful.
Okay.
So SEX cessful. So it's like
I've
like
seen it.
successful.
I've seen it
but it's
kind of-
SEX.
Okay, I
Right.
get it.
Successful.
So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give this chick a chance, right? I'm gonna listen to it because, like I've said, I don't listen
I
to podcasts.
haven't listened to it,
right?
but I've seen it pop
Okay,
up.
well, don't listen to it.
Okay. It's
So
not
don't
that- it's
listen
not
to
good
it. It's
enough.
not what you think.
Okay.
It's not what you think. No, because I listened to it. I'm like, okay, I want to hear what this chick has to say, and I turned it on, and 2 minutes, boop, turned it off. I'm like, nope, this isn't what I thought it was gonna.
Well, how did it start with the freaking hallelujah? Like a freaking
you know what it
Our
sounded?
Father?
It sounded like it sounded like somebody else's podcast. It sounded like
No name mentioned.
it sounded like that podcast.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, I don't
It
know.
was like a
I'm
guy
sorry.
bashing podcast.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't about that.
So,
it wasn't
you
about
know,
guys. It was about that.
Here's a.
That's why
You
I was
know,
like, nope.
I've talked about us going video, right, for a while.
Yeah,
And-
we
and
never went back to that.
And I'm working on it. But there's a couple. They're not podcasts, but they're TikToks.
Oh, yes.
That Sabrina likes to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is, it basically talks about her encounters because she was a worker,
Oh,
right? And they're pretty damn interesting.
she had her own fans.
No, I don't know, but she.
Or she
but
was
her
an actual porn
But
star?
her TikTok, yeah, but she was literally a sex worker.
Oh, okay.
Right, but she talks about her encounters, and she every once in a while, like I don't follow it, and I don't see them pop up, but she'll show because she follows her,
Right.
and she'll show them to me, and I'm like, they're fucking pretty funny, man, and they're pretty interesting. And I'm like, if that chick had a podcast, I think I would listen,
Right.
because they're
Yeah.
interesting, right?
Right.
But I think the videos are better because she does the expressions and all that stuff,
Yeah.
right? And that's why I said, like, I think we need to go videos. I don't know, guys. You tell me.
Because I heard somebody's, one of the other comments that I've heard was that, that we should be on video because then you get that.
Yeah.
You get that facial
Especially
reaction.
when we're doing the hand motions and
the air quotes and all that.
Yeah.
So on the video you get that. You get that facial expression and so that way you feel it more. And instead of just sitting there, and then after 10 minutes it just drops off. I can see it. I can see that you drop off after 15 minutes.
With me, you can put like the emoji with the lips moving.
Hey, well, I'm working on getting a couple cameras. So I got my son already working on it.
We need to do interviews. We need to get women on here. We need A lot. We got
an interview coming up. We got an interview coming up. Yes.
We got one in the works.
Yep.
So
he's
Joe,
coming up.
so Joe, if you're listening,
Joe, if you're listening,
let's hope you are. But no, we got that in the works. And Louie was talking about that video stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll see, man. We there's a lot of ways we can go, but we just got to keep on. Right now we're on a streak.
We're on a streak.
We need to keep going.
Keep going. Keep liking and sharing,
dude. I think we're good.
I think we're good.
I think we're good.
Well, I
Hornitos is talking.
Hornitos.
Yes, Hornitos is talking.
Yeah.
But before we go,
Did we get a word?
we do want to give a shout out. We posted it on our page, and it is I know that a lot of people are always trying to raise money for certain things.
Yeah.
But we do have one that we posted from the South San Bobcats Esports 2023. And I want to tell you, I looked at this before the show started, and they were about $1,500 to $1,600 raised, right? Mm-hmm. Their goal is $2,500. Well, right now they're at $2,000.
Hey.
So they've literally raised some money here during the time that we've been doing our show.
Nice.
So if we can help them get to that $2,500 or above, this is a program that they started at South San Esports, and it's helping some kids. Everything's going digital, everything's going electronic, right? A lot of times, I know that we kind of push our kids down for always being on games, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we were on games. I remember when we were young, right? We were kids. If they would have had something like this, man, we would have dominated that mother. I'm just saying.
Can you imagine?
And they didn't want us on games.
They didn't want us on games.
No, go outside.
Yeah, get out of here.
I don't think we want our kids now on games either, but really it's like just do it, right?
They're not outside on the street.
They're not going out there shooting, which we're going to talk about next time. They're not out there doing stupid crap, right? Carjacking women and at 4 in the morning and doing stupid crap.
And then using that vehicle to... Anyway.
Yeah. So, but they're raising money for the esports program at South San. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you to go to our page.
Yeah, it's on there.
If you can, any amount helps. So if you can donate $5, $10, whatever it is, it's going to help them reach their goal. So, the program leader is Domingo Ruiz Jr., and
that's my brother.
That's Porky's brother. And he's created a pretty good program for these kids. And this is also helping kids stay out of trouble, man.
Yeah.
Honestly. So it's a good program, and it's actually, the best in San Antonio.
Yeah.
So if we can help get these kids, encourage these kids, push these kids, and get these kids into more, doing things that are going to be successful to them later.
Yep.
I encourage you to donate. So again, if you haven't seen it, go to our page. It's there. We're going to repost it here this week. So that way you can, it'll be on the forefront of your feed, but that way you can see it. But
just to finish that off, man, like he's put in a lot of work, dude. He's put in a lot of work. He's had to work really hard to get the school to help him out, do certain things, but of course they can't cover everything.
Correct.
They're trying to get into a new building. They're trying to get new equipment, which they did get, but it's grown so much that
they need more equipment.
They need more.
Yeah.
They need more equipment. They need bigger rooms. And the whole thing about it is, we, like Louie said, we push our kids because go outside and go, but this does keep them safe. This does keep them off the streets, And the thing is, the main thing about this is, kids can get scholarships for this.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about
esports?
it. For esports, bro. I'm not even lying.
Yes, there's scholarships out there for esports.
Let me tell you how big this is.
Some of the major colleges have esports teams.
No, let me tell you.
Big colleges.
Hold on. Let me tell you the crazy thing about this. You remember you sent me this, for my son. You had sent me something that was going on at the port, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's where they work a lot.
You know that they have scouts that go over there?
No,
I'm not even lying.
No,
they have people scouting for this. This is how big it's gotten, guys. I'm telling you, man.
For real.
And honestly, again, this is actually something that's a positive thing.
Yeah, it is.
We like to, not so much make it a negative thing, but we do say like, hey man, like yeah, we did play games when we were younger, but we were also outside and we did a lot of other stuff, right?
Because our games weren't as advanced as they are now.
Exactly,
You know?
exactly. But you know what? I'm telling you, man, like. Again, you know, I was talking to my youngest son, and we're gonna go off a little bit, but I'm gonna make this quick. My oldest son is in the Air Force, right? And he was like, "You need to put my brother, which is my younger one, you need to put him in the military." And I'm like, "Yeah, he's not gonna last. He's not gonna last." I'm just saying.
I'll be honest with you.
You know, he's not that guy, right?
Yeah.
However, he was like, "Dad, if he just made it through the boot camp and got through that, if he can get through that." There are programs where they're flying drones from
all the way around the other side of the world. Yeah,
like shit that he likes to do.
Right,
he can get into that, and he's that smart. Like push him, and he can build a career out of this. And I'm like, I get it, right? I get it. And you know, for a while, I was like, man, don't even talk to me about that. I don't want to hear that. But I'm telling you, when you see programs like this. That are helping kids advance and get to that point. Yeah, dude, this is awesome, and I applaud your brother for that. I applaud your brother because I know that it wasn't easy starting the program, and it wasn't easy trying to push the program onto the district. So this is something that's a good thing, guys. So again, man, if you know can have it in your heart, man, and you see anything that you can do, $5, $10, $100, whatever you can do. Yeah, just donate, man. This is actually something that's a really good thing. It's a positive thing for kids, and it's gonna start. And not only that, he's a good guy, so he's gonna help mold these kids into being better kids than what they are now. Yep. So just any way we can support, I encourage our Uncancelled Culture crew to do what they can. So. Yep.
Yeah, help,
he's a good guy, unless he thinks you're a bad influence to his brother.
And with that, we are gonna have to call this one quits. It's in the oven. The Hornitos is coming out. Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Shout out to Del Loco.
No, shout to the local. So yeah,
but right, man. Hey,
this was a good show.
All right, that was good. Later.
It was.
Yeah. Air quotes.
Air quotes.
Whatever, man.
Air fist.
See, if we have video, you can see it.
Yeah. But we'll get there.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks for listening. We hope you were. And we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Later.
We will see them.
Eventually.
Eventually.